Welcome to the Fellowship Podcast, a place where we get to know the people who make up the Baptist Bible Fellowship. In each episode, we sit down with pastors, missionaries, and ministry leaders from across our fellowship to hear their stories, their ministry journey, and a few lessons they've learned along the way. Our goal is simple: to connect leaders, share stories, and strengthen the mission. And now, here's your host, Randy Harp. Let's join the conversation.
Well, welcome to our next episode of the Fellowship Podcast. Excited to have a good friend of mine, Dean Hughes, on with us this morning. Dean pastors Eastside Baptist Church in Topeka, Kansas. Dean, thanks for taking the time to be with us today.
Well, thank you. Good morning.
Hey, take just a little bit of time, just a couple minutes, introduce yourself. I know most people know you, but just kind of introduce yourself, kind of maybe share a little bit where you grew up and some of your background.
Well, I grew up in Woodward, Oklahoma. It's a town in northwest Oklahoma, almost in the Panhandle, and graduated from high school in 1980 and went to Baptist Bible College that fall. Graduated with my degree in music education in 1985, and then worked in several churches, and then came back to Springfield to pursue the master's degree in biblical counseling in 1998, and received that. Also, in the process of completing that, went on and continued in ministry. Was in music ministry for over 24 years, and also serving as youth pastor, and then in other areas of church ministry. Until pastoring here at Eastside Baptist. We came here in the summer of 2009, and we have been here now for over 15 years, about 15 and a half years now. Wow. And been very blessed to be here at Eastside in Topeka.
Hey, let's go back to your time in Oklahoma. Other than that's why you're a huge Oklahoma Sooners fan, which I'll forgive you for. But to share a little bit, when did you get saved? Were you a teenager? Did you grow up in a Christian home? Share a little bit about that background.
Well, my mom was a Christian. We did not necessarily go to church every week. She had gone through, she was on her second marriage when I was a child. My grandparents were very, very faithful in church, were very helpful in the early years of Bible Baptist Church in Woodward, and I went to church with them a lot. They helped me to go to youth camp a lot. They drove 80 miles round trip. At the time, I was living in a little town called Laverne, and they came and got me and took me to church in Woodward for a revival meeting when I was 8 years old, and it was that night, June 12th, 1971, that I trusted Christ as my Savior. And then I was baptized later that weekend. The following year, I went to church camp at Sagmont near Joplin, Missouri. Yep. And that was where I surrendered my life to full-time ministry. I believed at the time that it was to pastor, to preach. The Lord did not allow me to become pastor until after graduate school. And actually, after that, I really thought after I graduated with my master's, I would go into the pastorate. But the Lord gave me an incredible 9 years in Tennessee before the Lord opened up the avenue in Topeka. But that was, I was raised and saved and baptized and called to ministry while at Bible Baptist Church in Woodward.
Okay. Who are some of your early influencers, people that influenced you to become who you are today?
Well, early in my life, certainly my pastor growing up, Brother Gerald Berry, was very, very instrumental in my life, very, very helpful. Had some great Sunday school teachers. Mac Mosier is one that comes to mind, who just his heart for the Lord was just tremendous. Other examples of faithfulness in the church. In college, just numerous people, numerous professors that influenced my life, and then pastors that I have worked with and served under have had a great influence in my life as well since leaving Bible college.
Now you said you got your master's degree in biblical counseling, right?
Yes.
So how has that impacted, or how do you use that in your pastoral ministry now?
That degree has been invaluable to me. The classes with Dr. Carson were absolutely amazing, immensely practical. They were a tremendous amount of work at the time, but at the same time, I've used a lot of that work in sometimes in teaching areas, but also in counseling areas, having periods of time in the ministry here, trying to train others to do some basic biblical counseling.
Hmm.
It really has been invaluable in so many ways, just in the framework and how to deal with people, how to try to minister to people that need biblical counseling, and really keeping that scripture as the main focus. One of the things that I always remember from Brother Kolb's preaching class when I was at grad school was be faithful to the text. That was something that he said over and over, and that's something that certainly I strive to do in ministry.
Now you said you've been in Topeka at Eastside since 2009. Sure. How did you make that transition? You were in Tennessee before you went to Topeka?
Yes, I was at Lighthouse Baptist in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, with Pastor Charles Ray for
Yeah.
9 years, 9 wonderful years. I had begun to feel the transition that perhaps it was time to seek whether to be a pastor or whether to continue in music ministry.
Mm-hmm.
And so, as I was looking at that transition, I actually had sent out resumes for both of those areas, as seeking the Lord's direction, and actually had some churches lined up. I was actually on my way to a church in Ohio when I got the call from Topeka, and they had asked me to come and preach in consideration of being a candidate. And the Lord just took it from there and gave peace about that entire process.
What would you say in your all the years of ministry? What's one of the biggest joys that you've had in ministry so far?
I don't know that it is necessarily a single event. Although I can certainly think of events, certainly a lot of the special presentations, especially the Easter presentations at Lighthouse in Murfreesboro, were just amazing to see how the people in the church came together and worked, and how the Lord blessed with so many saved. And then here in Topeka, seeing people saved throughout the years, being able to baptize people, to perform marriages. This summer, I'll be officiating 2 marriages. One of those is my daughter's, and the other is a young lady and her fiance in the church. And those are just fantastic times. Even going through the difficult times when we have to, when people lose loved ones, just to be there and to love and care for them. It's an honor to be a part of something significant in their lives. And it really just comes down to the people. God has given Elaine and I just some fantastic people to serve with and to minister with here at Topeka, certainly in the other churches. And we've been able to maintain several friendships in previous churches because the people have been so fantastic. And just watching several of them grow and building those relationships really has been just really one of the greatest joys.
I know you and Elaine both, you're very, like you can tell just by talking, the shepherd's heart. But what are some ways that you, as a married couple, you and Elaine, serve together and serve the people in your church together?
Well, we certainly want to be there whenever people are in need of counseling, if they're going through some difficult times, if they're going through grief, and then to share in the joys. We try to attend at least one ball game or play or whatever our students are involved in. Just as we have opportunity just to spend time with them, I think is very, very important. Whenever somebody's in the hospital, to make those calls to the hospital on a regular basis, if not a daily basis. And if I can't make it, either our staff member or one of our church officers goes and maintains that contact. certainly serving in multiple areas of the church. Elaine is just wonderful in all the different things that she
Yeah.
does for the church. Just loving on people and being there for them, I think, is one of the biggest things that we can do.
I agree. I think that's one of the things that I really appreciate about you is your shepherd's heart. So that comes through in what you said. So currently you are serving on the executive committee of the BBFI as the treasurer. How did you get connected to the BBFI? Was your church in Oklahoma a BBFI church, or how did you get connected?
Our church was a BBF church, and growing up, I had heard all about Baptist Bible College. I remember in my junior high years, we had a quartet. I think it was a quartet that came from the college and sang on a Sunday morning and really began to implant BBC in my heart and mind. And ever since that quartet came, it really BBC had been my focus.
Hmm.
I enjoyed being in music in high school, in drama and theater, debate. I was offered a debate scholarship at Northwestern Oklahoma State. I had other pursuits that I was interested in, but I really felt strongly about the call to ministry and felt like BBC was the place to go.
Yeah.
And so,
BBC is the place for me, right?
right, yeah, exactly. And so went there, joined High Street, and was there through all of my undergrad years under Dr. Cavan, singing in Earl Smith's choir, traveling with Harvesters Chorale for a couple of years, and then for the college for a couple of years as well. And it was just incredible opportunities. And ever since then, I've always served in fellowship churches. Fellowship has been a part of the BBF, has been a part of my life, really all of my life.
Hmm. So what other roles have you served in kind of in a leadership capacity with the BBFI? I know state rep and now executive committee. Anything else?
Well, years ago, I did serve a term as an alumni vice president,
Hmm.
back when Brother Randall was the president of the school. And then for I don't really know how many years total it was, but I had served as the vice chair for the Kansas Baptist Bible Fellowship. And then when Tim Adrian was elected to national office, then I served as chairman of our state fellowship and was blessed to do that until this opportunity presented itself.
Yeah, and you did a great job as the state rep and state chairman. I used to tell people all the time, you need to call Dean because he's doing a great job. You did a great job communicating and shepherding even the pastors in your state. So, what was that kind of like? What did you do to connect so well with the other pastors in the state of Kansas?
Well, probably the thing I was the most consistent at was sending out an e-newsletter. If I knew of some needs that our pastors had, some prayer requests, I tried to pass them along through the e-news, certainly updating them about upcoming meetings and things like that. Any news that we would get from the fellowship, from the missions office, if a missionary passed away or upcoming meetings or things of that nature, I would always pass that information on to our Kansas pastors through our e-newsletter. Certainly would try to text or call pastors. It was not as successful or consistent with that as I would like to have been.
Sure.
But certainly wanted to let them know that they were being prayed for, certainly having individual prayer for them, trying to send them texts and calls and just saying, how you doing, that type of thing.
Yeah.
Again, I would have loved to have done that a lot better than what I did, but that was always my heart.
Let's talk about some lessons maybe you learned. If you could go back to when you were first starting in ministry, what's something that you would tell yourself that you've back then, what you've learned now? So I don't know if I explained that very well, but I think you get the gist of the question. What's something you would go back and tell your early self about ministry?
Well, I think early in ministry, I came into my first church with certain expectations, especially musically, because I was the music minister, and then later became the youth pastor as well, and served in that for most of my time when I was and that was in Lawton, Oklahoma, under Lenny Spicer. And I had expectations, for example, that our choir was going to be like High Street's choir. And we had great people in our choir in Lawton, and they did a great job. But to try to compare what they could do with what we were used to under Brother Earl and then under Hugh Griffith at High Street, it
Yeah.
was unrealistic for me. For example, I said we were going to memorize our entire first Christmas musical, and realized really quickly that wasn't going to happen in my first church,
Yeah.
and that's okay. I think one of the things I would say is before you worry about an agenda and I think you need to have goals and dreams and plans and vision. But I think the first thing that you need to do is learn the people and love the people.
Mm.
Learn the church and where the church is,
Yeah.
and see where you can take them from where they are at. Don't try to force them to be somebody else or another church, because they're not that church.
Right.
God has allowed each church to be unique in their own place and their own personality and different people. And so I think that would be a critical lesson. I
Yeah.
think the most important thing that you can do, and the first thing that you should do, is learn to genuinely love your people. And when you do that, you build that trust, you build that respect, and you have that care and compassion. So it helps you to lead as you begin to cast that vision
Yeah.
in a way that best fits that church.
Yeah. I learned a long time ago, comparison no one wins when you start comparing. And yeah.
Yeah.
So what's maybe a lesson or advice or something you've learned from somebody else that kind of has stuck with you? You shared something from Brother Kolb earlier about staying faithful to the text. Maybe something like that, or another lesson or advice that someone's given you that you've always kind of held on to.
For years, whenever pastors or guests or missionaries would come to our church, or I'd hear them speak at a fellowship meeting, and they said something I felt moved my heart or was significant, I would write them down in the back of my Bible. And one of the things that has stood out to me was a statement that missionary Steve Workman said years and years ago when he came to our church in Lawton, when he said, "Don't look at people at where they are, but where they can be in Christ."
Hmm.
And so whether working with teens or whether working with people here in the church, especially with younger adults, as we strive to disciple them, we all have our flaws. We all have our warts. And my goodness, I still have mine,
Yeah.
major ones. But think about the potential, how God can use them. And remember their pattern of growth. It's like the song says, "I'm not where I want to be, but thank God I'm not what I was."
Yeah.
And so that statement, "Don't look at where people are, but where they can be in Christ," is something that has always stuck with me,
Yeah.
to really try to help people to grow and encourage. We're all on a journey of growth.
Yeah. Yeah. That's very good. All right. I want to end with just some kind of one or some quick hitters is what I call them. So I want to give you a couple options. You just tell me which one is you. So first one, what's a better vacation? Going to the beach or going to the mountains?
I love the mountains. I love snow skiing. I'm not good at it, but I just love the beauty of it. Now Elaine would rather go to the beach, but
Uh-oh.
so we bounce back and forth.
How do you balance that out?
Yeah, she's gone snow skiing with me, and I've gone to the beach with her. But
yeah.
as I get older, I think I'm enjoying the warmth a little bit better, though. I don't.
Yeah, you gotta pick going to the mountains at the right time.
Exactly.
Coffee or tea?
In the morning I have my cold brew coffee. So probably coffee wins out at this time, at this stage. But I like a good unsweet tea.
Yeah, unsweet tea.
It has to be unsweet because I'm diabetic.
Are you a morning person or a night owl?
I used to be a night owl. Back when I started in ministry and was single, we used to have staff meeting every morning at 8:30, and I can't tell you how many times I was late for staff meeting. But over the years, I've become a morning person. Elaine gets up and is at work early. She's at work at 7:30 every morning, and in the summers at 7. And so that has helped me to become a morning person. And I just enjoy starting my day better, having that uninterrupted time. Definitely now more of a morning person.
College sports or professional sports?
Both, but college, it's OU, Boomer Sooner, for things. I do like pro sports. My passion is baseball. I've been a diehard Texas Ranger fan since 1976. So I've been through a lot of grief and turmoil in all of those years. But I do like all the major sports. But college is where I would lean.
Would you rather fly to vacation or drive to vacation?
You know, flying can be a hassle, but I sure like saving the time
Yeah.
with flying. I don't mind driving if I built in time to stop and relax and enjoy.
Mm,
Too much of my driving is let's go, let's get there, let's get it done. So
yeah.
I don't really enjoy the drive as much
Yeah.
as I should.
Better pet, a dog or a cat?
Oh, dog.
Yeah. That's an easy one, right?
Well, Elaine's allergic to cats, so that makes it
Ah,
easy. Yeah.
wow. What's more relaxing, fishing or golfing?
Well, I've never been good at fishing. My grandpa always used to take me out fishing when I was a kid, and honestly, I was bored with it, probably because I never caught anything. So golfing was something that I started to pick up, and I got to where I wasn't halfway embarrassing, especially when I was in Tennessee. I haven't really golfed in the last decade or so,
Yeah.
but I enjoy it. I enjoy getting out, hitting the golf ball.
Do you prefer texting somebody or talking on the phone with them?
I prefer talking.
Yeah.
I'm still old school that way.
Cook at home or eat out?
Elaine is an awesome cook. So she does a great job. But eating out, you don't have to deal with the mess, that type of thing. So, and we'd like to try new thing. Well, I'm not as adventurous as she is. So I'd probably say um, it's a hybrid. I enjoy, I've got a smoker now, learning how to smoke some things. I like grilling some things. So it's probably kind of a mix between the two, but probably leaning slightly toward eating out, probably.
Okay. Do you prefer to study in a coffee shop or in a quiet office by yourself?
I like the quiet office.
Yeah. All right, last question. One meal forever the rest of your life. Is it tacos or pizza?
Oh, between the two, tacos.
Yeah.
If I could expand, I'd really like fajitas. Fajitas are the
Well,
favorite.
you can add that in. You can add
Yeah,
that in. So you can have fajita meat in your tacos.
there you go.
Hey, Dean, thanks for connecting with us today. Any last parting words of wisdom you want to share?
I just want to say that it is an absolute blessing to serve. It's been a blessing to serve all of these years in different areas. And I just pray and hope that I can be an encouragement to someone as I serve in this area. We have such a great group of men on the executive team that have been such an amazing encouragement to me. And I'm very, very thankful for how they've already invested in my life. And it's an honor to serve our fellowship. I think God has done, and is doing some amazing things in our fellowship with our renewed emphasis on church planning, with what we do through worldwide missions. It's exciting to be a part of that
Yeah.
and to help promote that. And I'm just excited to see what God is going to do through our fellowship as we celebrate this 75th anniversary and go beyond.
Dean, again, thanks for joining us, and everyone listening. Thanks. Looking forward to connecting in a couple weeks with our next episode. God bless.
All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.